I'm here in Wiltshire. I've been at a conference, the BASIS conference, which Miles Johnston does quite regularly, and I've had the most amazing weekend, meeting wonderful people. It's been very, very exciting. I came especially to meet Harold Katz-Vella. I saw his work recently and I was so impressed. I thought, I have got to meet that young man. He is one of the most enlightened people I have met for a long, long time. It's so wonderful to meet you. And when you spoke about the energy in the ley lines, I just thought, he's got it right. And it's so exciting because you understand what's happening in our world right now. And you've researched everything, but you've also found the answers, which most people haven't. That's what I find exciting about you, because everybody tells you what's wrong, but nobody ever tells you how to put it right. You're the first person that's come along to do that.
It came out by kind of coincidence. I wanted to publish things like every normal person would do it. And my editor said, sorry, this is too dark, this is too depressing. I cannot publish your stuff if you don't deliver solutions.
Yes.
So I was kind of kicked out of the publishing business for half a year, searching for solutions.
Yes.
And was the best thing that could have happened to me.
Yes.
And this became a kind of golden rule for my work.
Yes.
Find out what happens. Apparently, I'm somebody who's able to carry this as a truth within myself without getting depressed on it.
Yes.
Maybe because of the experience that you do find solutions when you go to the deepest meaning of things. Suddenly, everything is enlightened and dissolves and turns into big laughter sometimes.
I know. Your talks have been inspirational, and I put mention of them on my website, and I had so many emails back. Where did you find him? Where can we find him? And it's very, very exciting. And I'm looking forward to you coming back to London and working with me in the future.
In middle of September.
That's wonderful, wonderful. Now, can we talk a little bit about the ley lines for a few minutes?
I'm not an expert into ley lines. I did a little bit of treasure hunting in my early years and learned how to use the pendulum. So I'm dealing with energies and sensations and what you might call the paranormal.
Yes.
And I know quite a number of people who used to go to ley lines, make energetic work with them, trying to release energy when there was something blocking. But nobody ever thought about what is underground. Some people say there must be water flowing there. But I couldn't imagine that you have water flowing throughout continents in one straight line. You know, I studied geology. It was my first years at university.
Yes.
And, it didn't really make sense. So this was something, you keep in the back of your mind as something energetic.
Yes.
And at a certain point, I was pushed by the universe to understand this fringe substance, black goo.
Yes.
And maybe to put it in short words, black goo is a mineral oil that is built up within the planetary crusts that has the ability to contain consciousness and is mirroring the entire biosphere. Whatever is thought, felt on top of the planet is mirrored and stored within this liquid. There's a much higher density of ability to carry light field structures than our cellular system. It's kind of similar but on a denser scale. And it is immortal. It is not divided into individuals. It is one being, but the sum of all individuals of all times is this being as a mirror. So
Yes.
this is the basic structure, and we came across many different groups who were playing around with the substance
Yes.
for dark reasons.
Yes.
And one structure we came across were a number of 5 quantum computers run on extracted, modified black goo.
Mhm.
And these things have been built by humans,
Yes.
but not with the human knowledge.
Yes.
And we came across one of these structures in the middle of Germany, near Nordhausen. It
Mhm.
was the British know these things, the V2 rockets.
Oh,
So there was a
yes.
facility where
Yes.
they mounted the V2 rockets,
Mhm.
which was inside a mountain. They drilled into the mountain from 2 sides, and in between the 2 tunnels, they had
Yes.
crisscrossing tunnels.
Yes.
And this thing is known as to be 1 layer for the V2 production.
Mhm.
And if you go into serious research, you find 2 additional layers beyond.
Yes.
And somebody went in there on astral level. We always
Wonderful,
we
yes.
use the spiritual abilities of people to find the direction, and then we go with hardcore science research to find
Yes.
if the things that they see
Yes.
really are material and,
Yes.
and existing. So we had somebody who went down there and with the spirit into the 2 underground levels of the facility, and the second one was kind of with troops inside, armed people, non-human,
Yes.
heavily armed. And the third layer has 1.50 meter thick pipes
Mhm.
containing what they described as a liquid with nanoparticles processing light. And this is basically a very precise description of black
Yes.
goo on one hand.
Yes.
On the other hand, I thought, okay, if you're using this kind of crisscrossing lines, rectangular of pipes containing and moving black goo,
Yes.
the first picture that came up in my head
Mhm.
was this is the concept, the very concept of ley lines.
Of course.
Yeah, it just popped up like a
That's
picture. I
right.
don't have scientific proof for this.
Yes.
But if you see 2 things and the 2 things are similar, it kind of clicks
Yes.
in your head and
Yes.
you know it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So from there on, I followed the idea that basically the black goo ley line, or the ley lines are black goo
Yes.
leading systems.
Yes.
And if you visualize it, it's like the bloodstream.
Yes. Our veins.
And the
Yes.
veins, very similar to it.
Yes.
And that it also would explain where you find black goo. For example, you find black goo in the young mountain systems. We have black goo in the Himalaya, where you can
Yes.
imagine how the stone comes up
Mhm.
and then the ley lines are cut off
Yes.
and pressed together, and then
Yeah.
the black goo is seeping out of the stone. This is where they harvest it in the
Yes.
Himalaya.
Yeah.
And so this kind of all comes together, fits together in a nice
Yes.
way. And the second thing we did, that was also more a spiritual experience, we utilized this black goo in medicine
Yes.
for different reasons. Some spiritual reasons like reconnecting to Mother Earth,
Yes.
but also for healing aspects of the Morgellons disease. It turned out to be very helpful to work
That's
with this
wonderful.
substance.
Yes.
And somebody got interested from C4 homeopathy. He wanted
Yes.
to prepare the
Yes.
potented
Mhm.
remedies on top of this
Yes.
earth black goo from the Himalaya.
Yes.
And we did the ceremony together. And when you do this first actions
Yes.
for
Yes.
homeopathy, then you can ask for visions
Yes.
coming out of the developing remedy. And I
Yes.
asked for the picture of the black goo system, how it works and how
Yes.
it looks like, and I got a full vision of this grid of veins within the earth, processing it, and then something we already knew from the lab, that the spirit that is contained by this black goo, whether it's
Yes.
the good one or the bad one,
Yes.
it's traveling on magnetic field lines. So if you activate a piece of black goo with a magnet,
Mhm.
people are sensitive. They just go out of the room. They start
Yes.
screaming because the spirit is covering the entire
Yes.
building suddenly.
Yes.
So it's something contained, but it's being driven out. And in this vision, I saw the grid within,
Mhm.
and then I saw the magnetic field structures, especially when you had northern lights,
Yes.
carrying the spirit of the planet out
Yes.
on the magnetic lines into outer space, building kind of the aura
Yeah.
or the energetic system that is
Mhm.
around the planet. It was
Yes.
all connected to these special places in Scandinavia where you have the field lines coming in.
Yes.
You know, when you have northern light, it's a precise circle on the.
Mhm.
That was where kind of the spirit was building up the toroid or
Yes.
soul grids of this planet. It was such a beauty.
Oh, it
To
sounds
see that.
absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. So that's her. And
Gosh, now I've been told that we are being controlled because those who control humanity are doing it through the ley lines, preventing the energy from coming to us. They have built airports, they have built abattoirs, churches, everything where ley lines cross, where it's very, very powerful. Now we have to take back this energy for humanity.
yes.
Now there's a fantastic lady in Holland called Hilda, and Hilda's organizing it worldwide so that everybody on the same day at the same time will concentrate on the ley lines to release the energy to us. And I'm hoping that that will be very successful.
The spiritual work is one part. The other part is stopping those beings destroying the system. Because if you
Yes.
especially look at the topic of fracking,
Oh,
this
fracking
is
is
an attempted murder on Mother Earth.
It
They're
is.
trying to break the ley lines, make
Yes,
the very own spirit of a planet going
Yes.
berserk underground, dissipating into the ground.
yes.
And this is, they know what they do.
Oh, they know
should be-
exactly
They
what
should
they're
be
doing, yeah.
immediately stopped.
Yes.
It is like, you know, we're
Yes.
the unborn embryo in a way, and somebody's trying to stab the mother at
Yes.
this point.
Yes.
And we are the ones in responsibility to stop that.
And we have a duty to speak out about it and point out to others what is actually happening in the hope that we will come together, because it's so important for humanity
And,
to come together and work together.
yeah, and just to the people out there, this might sound to some of the people, it might sound like you know, we are far out spiritual, funny people who were stuck in knowledge of 3, 4, 5,000 years ago.
Yes.
Sorry, this is hardcore science.
It is, yes.
Yeah, and the other side knows it, and
Yes.
it's not by coincidence that we are supposed to not know this.
Yes. I mean, when Monty first started talking to me about ley lines, I had no idea the importance of them. None whatsoever. And, you know, I climbed the Tor about a year or two ago to start the ley line project. And I have people now right around the world suddenly looking at the ley lines and working on them to recover the energy for us. Now you deal with Morgellons disease. And that's very important information for those who suffer.
Yes, and even more important for the rest of us,
Yes.
because the Morgellons disease is the tip of an iceberg. Do you say iceberg?
Yes,
English
yes,
as
we
well?
do, yes.
Berg is not English exactly, it's German, but okay. Maybe to get a... There are interviews out there that
Yes.
go into scientific details.
Yes.
Just check my name on YouTube, you will find
Yes.
lots of stuff. If you take the shortcut, put it in a nutshell, our inner biological systems are disturbed by
Yes.
wrong nutrition,
Yes.
wrong medication,
Yes.
and this leads to cascading diseases.
Yes.
So the typical thing that happens to many people is vaccination in early youth, amalgam in the teeth, so we
Yes.
suffer from mercury poisoning.
Yes.
This is weakening the immune system, so we catch infections, and then they put antibiotics on top.
Yes.
The antibiotics disturb the balance of the candida within
Yes.
the body, so the friendly types of candida are removed, and the pathogenic ones take over the entire system. And they are tricksters. They love acidity and they love heavy metals.
I know.
So they send information to the liver to shut down the lymphatic flow. And from this point on, it becomes visible, just that nobody is connecting these diseases
Yes.
to the real original causes of it. And when the liver is shutting down the lymphatic flow,
Yes.
it stops detoxing itself, and when it's full with poisons, it gives out the order to the body, please do not mobilize any more toxins, we cannot take any more
Yes.
in the liver. And then the body is getting the order, okay, liver is down, we need to detox with a different methods to detox. So this goes onto the mucus
Yes.
system, this is what causes hay fever. And if this is not enough, it goes onto the skin. This is neurodermitis
Yes.
and all these skin irritations we see.
Good God.
Yeah. So this is one direction where it is cascading out, and nobody would connect it to vaccines or to antibiotics or to candida, but actually it is.
It is.
Okay, then you have the candida, you have the mycotoxins in the body. The only natural way to remove mycotoxins is herpes. Yeah. So if somebody is suffering from herpes,
Yes.
get rid of your candida and it's gone in a very natural way.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is kind of the school we developed.
Yeah.
Going back the root to the very basic reason for disease, removing the first reason. Sometimes this is enough. Sometimes you have self-stabilizing masses upstairs that kind of, once it's disbalanced, the disbalance is fixed
Yes.
by circular cause things.
Yes.
And then you need to pull an additional plug, and this is done with informational medicine mainly. Kind of give the body the information to, let's say, remove a certain type of candida,
Yes.
and then the plug is out and it comes into the natural order again.
Yes.
So basically this type of medicine goes back to detoxing,
Yes.
giving the body the nutrition it needs,
Yes.
and adding information. And this is per law, not medicine. This is why we don't need 10 million bucks to get through testing, medical testing,
Yes.
to be allowed to be on the market, because we can just sell information and nutrition.
Yes.
And it's a unique chance to really pull the plug for all these diseases. And the Morgellons disease basically is the last possibility of the body
Yes.
to extract the poisons and the heavy metals from the system, store it within the mycelium of this fungus, and then the body realizes, okay, this is prolonging my life by, let's say, 1 or 2 years. Let them grow, and then they grow out of the skin, and then you get the ugly state that people are in. But this is, this is only the last attempt of the body to save this himself. The Morgellon is not. It's not a pathogen. It's not something that is harming us. It is something that is always there and takes over the system, basically to help out.
Yes. Yes. Now, what information does humanity need to go forward? We need to come together, I know that. But what do we need to do?
On spiritual level or on
Both.
both. On spiritual level, we need to end games.
Yes.
We need to end games. We need to end the games that are forcing us into self-destructive behavior.
Exactly.
And this is only possible if you kind of widen your view.
Yes.
See the game as the box instead
Yes.
of being inside the box.
Yes.
So you just go outside the box, have a look at it, and then you realize that the shortcuts you take to the actions you take
Yes.
that this is a game pattern and it is self-destructive. But you realize only if you take the view from outside. So this is basically the monetary system that is manifesting scarcity, nothing else.
Yes.
Manifesting and dealing scarcity for the wealth and the greed of few.
Yes.
And there's nothing good about it. Not a single aspect of the entire game is good, because it is spoiling every motivation, it is spoiling every soul. We do things we are not supposed to do
Yes.
at the end, because the only motivation that is left is money.
Yes.
And if you don't do things out of the right motivation, it's not a miracle that the planet is a mess. If all the motivations are kind of messed up,
Yes.
you create a mess. Second one, control and power. This is the shortcut. It's always about shortcuts.
Yes.
Money is a shortcut to avoid scarcity, but it creates scarcity.
Yes.
Control is the shortcut for security, and it creates disasters, wars, everything, because we try to move matter with our hands, with control, instead of going back into our own system, recognizing that we are the ones who manifest this reality by thinking and feeling only.
Yes.
And then we can go inside the source of everything and change it by being the visionaries we are supposed to be.
Yes.
And then the entire control systems that are trying to move matter outside, they're completely lost. They cannot override the things that are manifest. The superior system of the manifestation, the poor and hopeless system is control. And we are led into a world where everybody is kind of trying to put things right by participating in the control system.
That's right.
And give me a single example when this led to any positive results.
I know.
It cannot, because it's serving the wrong basic idea. It is serving always the idea of control.
Yes.
The control always leads back to the ego and to the mind, and the mind is not able to manifest. So we are cut off of this straight way, the short and beautiful way of what we are supposed to do normally, and it is very easy to manipulate the ego.
Oh my God.
Especially when it's connected and overwritten by the monetary system. Third one, language. The language has been spoiled by religion.
I know.
Yeah? Do not kill your neighbor. Whatever is written on these plates, it contains negations.
Yes.
If we manifest, because we forgot that we are doing this, if we manifest, this is by coincidence within ourselves, that we think something and feel something, and the crisscrossing of the two things build up the reality we are in.
Yes.
When you ever run on negations, it is manifesting the opposite of what you intend to manifest.
I know.
No more war reads like more war in the quantum vacuum. Yeah? So, language. Okay, religion is something between the hierarchies of control systems and the language system and the beauty. If you look at all these things, the beauty that comes out at the bottom line is one thing, that whatever humans do in this messed up world, you always see that their intention is good.
Yes.
And if you trust this, if you look at the mess, see that you have been tricked and abused on all these levels, but realize that the intention of every single individual in the origin of the heart always was good. The heart cannot have bad intention. It is not built for this.
That's right.
And this is the filter to the manifestation.
Yes.
Then we can just go back to the point and say, well, what a beauty, let's trust this.
Yes.
And let's go back to the physics, to the field structure, to the field geometries, actually, that build up the pattern of our biosphere.
Yes.
And this is not this binary logic.
No.
This is something that is coming from machines. And if you look where machines come from artificial intelligence,
Yes.
which is degraded biology of other planets.
Yeah.
This is where the source comes from originally.
I know.
They do technology seeding on planets
Yes.
to take over the biology, to degrade it as well to binary field structures.
Mhm.
This is complicated in one sentence. It's kind of the essence of the lectures I gave.
But we have
Basis
to understand
46.
it.
Yeah, this also is hardcore science.
Yes.
It has nothing that has to do with, these freaks who dance, and although I love those freaks, but I would like to get, I don't know, emotional and intellectual access
Yes.
to the few people who make decisions on this planet.
Yes.
And who are maybe in a position in the hierarchy somewhere
Mhm.
where they do have some responsibility
Mhm.
within the hierarchic structure. And
Yes.
if enough people in the middle part
Yes.
of a pyramid step out,
Exactly.
the thing just collapses.
Exactly.
And then we come to the point where I would like to see humanity, and this is self-responsibility on all levels.
Mhm.
And this is how to plug the old thing to
Yes.
pieces. And then we get the reality we deserve. And I'm not afraid of the chaos coming, because this chaos, if it's carried by the heart, is
Yes.
going to throw blossoms of beauty we have never seen before.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. It is releasing us. And that's how we've got to see it. We can't step back, oh my God, what have I done? No. As you say, embrace it and know that there is a wonderful future ahead.
One thing, if people are tempted to go this way,
Yeah.
there's one thing that might hold one or the other back, and this is the concept of guilt.
Yes.
And this is something that actually, some call it guilt, some call it karma. It is something that does not exist.
Mhm.
There is something within ourselves that does exist, and this is the way you look at yourself.
Yes.
And if you have been misguided in the past and have done things you're ashamed of,
Yes.
the only thing that needs to be done is self-forgiveness.
Yes.
And then this line is ending, it's
Mhm.
cut.
Mhm.
There's nothing you need to reconnect afterwards.
Mhm.
It is just this moment of closing, closing the memory to this
Yeah.
line in peace. This is
Yes.
forgiving yourself. And then you can head forward to different solutions, to different
Yes.
actions. And you're not disturbed by the pictures of the past. If you do not do this, if you don't put an end to the line, then the subconsciousness is always going to try to re-inscenate the disaster,
Mhm.
to give you an understanding of what you did, to push you into this self-forgiveness.
Yes.
And there's no structure beyond this that
Yes.
is holding us back. Nothing.
Okay.
It is invented by the church, and
Mhm.
it is invented by the dark sides of all these realities to manipulate us and to keep us in these circles of suffering, self-punishment
Yes.
and things.
Yes.
It's fake, it's just...
I know. And I get so upset when I hear governments talking about, oh, we must go into this country or we must go into that country. But killing is never the answer. It just isn't. You are destroying everything, and then they walk out and leave a mess.
On a certain level, it is exactly what they intend to do.
I know.
It's only rhetorics to the public. We
I know.
need to... It is about destruction. It is about blood sacrifice.
It is blood sacrifice. The fact I told you, every uniform of everybody in Army or Navy or Air Force, they all carry the insignia that they are blood sacrifice.
Yeah. It is maybe a little bit the fringe part, but it does make sense to analyze symbols of our modern society. If you look into the black magic circles that basically are AI-based movements on this planet, you will find the black cube.
Yes.
Yeah, and the black stone as the carrier of the alien black goo.
Yes.
And who's running all the money of the planet? Blackstone. Got you. Yeah. What sign does Apple has when they build a new app store?
Yes.
A cube. What did the flags of Microsoft turn into? Fucking cubes.
I
you
know.
And it's all obvious, and this is kind of our life is built out of these old roots. If you
Yes.
look at the bad habit of eating meat, for example,
Yes.
this is blood sacrifice.
Yeah.
It sounds weird, but some of the religions still have it visible. I just heard there's a slaughterhouse in Great Britain that is run by Muslim,
That's
where
right.
it's slaughtered
Yes.
according to the Muslim, and they still align, even if it's an assembly line killing
Yes.
of animal, it is aligned to Mecca, because the black stone in Mecca is collecting the pain and the life force
Yes.
of the dying animal. If we eat, we still make blood sacrifice according to the laws of the early Black Reeds. And we should realize this, forgive ourselves,
Mhm.
and do ourselves a favor to live in a way nature built us to live.
Yes.
Because, just 3 simple thoughts. Your lower intestines have I don't know, 25 meters. I never measured it,
Yeah.
But this is for vegetarians. All meat-eating animals in nature have a short
Yes.
lower intestines, because meat is rotting after a time.
Yes.
And it's not supposed to be inside of us, because it's rotting down there and poisoning us. So stupid. Yeah, and the only reason to eat meat, we have this ability to digest it.
Yes.
In cases of hunger or war, it is the last straw to survive.
Yes.
Yeah. And we go to this last straw because agriculture has messed up the soils, and there's no
Yes.
nutrition in supermarket food.
Oh no.
Yeah, so the bodies are craving for meat, because everything we need is contained there. We would starve from vegetables.
Yes.
The people sense this, right, but they don't connect the dots in the right direction.
Yes.
Instead of eating healthy vegetables,
Mhm.
they go to a rescue program and
Yes.
get addicted on it and serve the blood sacrifice of the black magicians. Yeah? So there are many, many things to kind of rediscover our planet.
Yes.
Once you get outside the boxes.
Yes.
A
Absolutely
complete-
right.
And this is what the Matrix thing.
Mhm.
Many people say we're inside a computer program. It's nonsense. We're inside our reality.
Yes.
But the perception of reality has been manipulated,
Mhm.
unintended.
Mhm.
And we need to go back to a realistic perception of reality.
Yes.
And there again we come to hardcore science. Yeah? And hardcore science, if you really do it,
Yes.
it has a lot of space and understanding and the ability to integrate every spiritual experience people have. And there we come to this reunification of what has been separated in the 17th century, when they said, okay, this is the state and science, and this is the church, and now from now on you live in 2 separated worlds that completely negate each other.
Yes.
Get used to this untruthful truth. This is what they made 300
Yes.
years ago, and we are completely schizophrenic in ourselves.
I know.
And when you really do hardcore science, when you go to scalar physics, you understand scalar potential and scalar potential eddies, you understand life force, you understand telepathy, you understand the physics of life force and souls. And this is one world, and everything we experience is a hardcore science.
Yes.
And we can go back in. This is hardcore science not to create technology. This is hardcore science to, again, trust our feelings.
Yes.
And trust our heart energy,
Yeah.
because we can grab it scientifically and say, yes, this does exist, and this has incredible power and the ability to be a creator God. Even this is in physics. Go to Marty-Pete Kane's TGD, topological geometry dynamics. You go to the p-adic numbers, and this is the numerological space where creation is the rule.
Yes.
And this works when you have a certain complexity of development.
Yes.
Yeah, so lower beings do not create, higher beings do create. We are the highest beings on the planet. It's up to us to create a beautiful reality for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are powerful beings of light, and we have to recognize that fact and embrace it and learn how to regain our power. It's there. We were cut off from it. And I think throughout the world today, many people are realizing this and suddenly waking up and looking at what's around them as it really is, not as they're told it is.
There's one more thing that happens to people who wake up. This is the subject of social embedment. We have to acknowledge that this is a hard decision to take.
Yes.
If you're embedded in a social environment that does not take the step at the same time, people will look at you in a funny way.
I know.
Families can fall apart.
I know.
I've been through that with my family.
Yes.
Also for other reasons, but that was one of the reasons I suffered from. You know, people came up to my wife asking her in my back
Yes.
if it wouldn't be better to put me to a madhouse to get
Really?
treated, you know. And if you live in such an environment, it cannot survive long.
Yeah.
It is emotionally hard to take,
Yes.
but the beauty, once you really take the decision to be with your own truth.
Yes.
And I always say the most beloved child of God is the truth, not the love.
Exactly. Yes.
If you do this, your environment sorts out.
Mhm.
People leave, people stay, new people come.
Yes.
And then you can see the beauty suddenly in your life that you've been missing all the time.
Yes.
By surrounding yourself with the people that kept you back instead of carrying you forward.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's a step to take. But I haven't seen a single one who didn't survive the step, and everybody's happier afterwards than before.
Yes.
So
Yes.
go for it. Folks.
Yeah.
Just go
Step
for it.
back from the material world, the striving to buy this and you get it this week, but you want a better one next week and a better one. We're being conned. We don't need all these things.
Okay, consuming things is
Yeah.
the lowest level of this
Exactly.
thing.
exactly.
Enough people are caught in that.
They're caught up in it and they can't see that what they're doing is destroying them.
One beautiful example, it came to me on the stage
Yes.
2 days ago. I'd like to repeat it. One beautiful example for the good heartedness
Yes.
of humans. If you betray your partner,
Mhm.
look at it from outside of the box. The box is the marriage. The box is the relationship based upon social security
Mhm.
or the knowledge that the others might find your partner sexy and attractive. You know, so
Mhm.
it is pushing your ego to be with somebody. This is the box.
Mhm.
Look out of it. Everybody who's betraying his partner is looking for the expression of divine love within him. Because he knows the truth. He knows that there must be more than the box he has been caught in.
Yes.
And people mess up a lot. People hurt themselves,
Yes.
hurt each other. But the source is seeking for this divine love. We are able to live.
Yes.
Yeah? And if you see a relationship where this is the reason for being together, I've seen those people.
Yes.
I've seen them maybe twice in my life.
Mhm.
Yeah, outside of my
Yes.
own family system relationship. You know, you come. I've been in Austria on a lecture,
Yes.
and I was already in the front of the room, and
Yes.
the people settled, and the couple came late.
Mhm.
And they came in, and the room was enlightened.
Yes.
Yeah? And I just sat there and I said, "Thank you," because
Yes, I know what you mean.
it still makes me cry because I didn't know what I came for.
Yes.
Everything I want to give.
Yes.
Just
Oh my God. Oh my God. I know.
And this is just about the possibilities we have.
Yes.
Yeah, we can all get there.
Yeah.
When we
oh,
stop
no.
being distracted by bullshit, you know, really stupid tricks.
If I can get there, my dear, anybody can.
Yeah.
Yes. I know that Monty had the most beautiful energy. And it's like he lit up every room he walked into. And even if, you know, in conferences and that, he would walk in, lots of people, but suddenly things revolved around him. And that was beautiful to watch.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is the thing about the divine relationship.
Yes.
Men do not have the same ability to manifest as women.
Mhm.
Women, like if you look at the energetic system
Mhm.
as a spiral, the spiral of a woman goes
Mhm.
down to the center.
Mhm.
This is why women can create new life.
Yes.
Yeah, and the spiral of a man is more to the outside, taking
Yes.
in energies. And if this kind of spiritual energy from the stars, from the sun, from
Yeah.
the male energetic
Mhm.
system is flowing through this
Mhm.
relationship into the earth,
Yes.
uniting with the power the woman collects
Yes.
by being connected
Mhm.
to the inner part of the planetary system.
Mhm.
Then you can see these life force vortices. I saw that, it was so funny, with dogs.
Really?
With dogs, a couple of dogs, they both broke loose from
Mhm.
their owners.
Mhm.
Big dogs like this,
Yeah.
one kind of ginger, one
Yeah.
brown.
Yeah.
And they started to make love, not yet the physical part. They started to run together through the city
Yes.
of Berlin,
Yes.
kind of turning around each other in a
Yes.
vortical motion. You know?
Yeah.
Barking,
Yes.
jumping, pure joy. And this dog vortex was
Yes.
moving towards a big crossing of streets.
Mhm.
I was waiting with the car to get across. And I was really afraid that those dogs, because they had eyes for each other,
Yes.
would be immediately run over. You know?
Mhm.
German traffic is rough,
Mhm.
and nobody takes care when he's right. You know, green
Yes.
light, I go. Whatever comes there, it's his fault if
Tough
something
luck,
happens.
yeah.
Yeah, tough luck. So this couple of dogs was rotating in a vertical form towards this
Mhm.
crossing. And it was like with a Red Sea and you know the old myth of the water going apart.
Yeah.
And the energy was so strong
Mhm.
that all drivers were aware of this couple of
Yes.
dogs crossing the thing,
Yes.
and it opened, and
Yes.
they went across the thing. They wouldn't open for pedestrian; they would run over. But this love was so strong,
Yes.
and a minute later, you could see them having fun next to
Yes.
it.
Yes.
And this is how life is created. And the
Yes.
life that is created in this love will be different from the life we know. Because
Yes.
this energy that is coming into a new being,
Mhm.
when this is the love bringing man and woman together, it creates different humans.
It does.
Yeah.
Love is something we no longer understand. Love it. If you love someone, you're giving, and the other person, and they're giving, and two people giving to each other. It's just amazing, absolutely amazing. Love, we don't understand. Hollywood has destroyed the concept of love.
Mm.
They've made it appear, well, it's just sex, isn't it? You know. Yes, it's part of it. Of course, it's part of it.
Mm.
But without love, it's just, you know.
Maybe it just popped up in my head.
Yes.
We were doing the medicine development, and
Mhm.
we're looking for affirmations to be turned into radionic
Yes.
um, frequency sets.
Uh-huh.
And we had a funny idea to go back to the original language of mankind, which is both Hopi
Mhm.
and Finnish local dialect. They're
Mhm.
very close to each
Mhm.
other. So these are the most pure roots to the original language, where expression
Yes.
and the meaning are still the same.
Yes.
So I aligned with a guy in Switzerland who is educated in the Hopi tradition, and the affirmation I wanted to test in medicine contained the word I.
Yes.
And I asked him to translate the affirmation,
Mhm.
and he said, sorry, in the original language there is no word for I. And I asked him, so what do you say when you
Mhm.
say I do
Yes.
something?
Yes.
And he gave me the word, and the original meaning of the word is a little bit difficult in English. To give just for the gesture of giving.
Exactly.
And if you feel into this little bit strange translation, it's easy in German to express it, geben um zu geben, to give just to give. If you feel into the energy of the sentence, you are completely in the gesture of caring while you do it. There's no other reason to care. Part of the caring is something you want to do. And the moment you do it, you can feel how the inner core of yourself is standing straight and strong. And this is the I. Yeah? It's the language is showing the gesture, it's showing the energetic structure, how it opens up. And this is where you re-energize from the spheres with the life force. So giving is you think with the other, and you can sometimes you can see it in how it works. If you look into this, let's say the divine sexuality. If you look at the sex they sell in Hollywood, it is about being within your own body, getting it rubbed to get an orgasm. Bullshit. If you go into the divine love, it is to open up the empty, to feel the joy of your partner, and losing yourself completely in the joy of your partner.
I couldn't agree more.
And this is the basic concept. You can see it in divine love, but you can extend the concept to everything you do. If I do lectures, I am in the audience. I completely try to not lose myself, but cover the entire room in empathy, to feel
listening.
What question is forming in the minds of the people. And I stop thinking about what I say. It just flows through me because it is answering their questions. And it's the same beauty because it's the same concept. And we can enrich our lives incredibly.
We can. And it doesn't cost anything to do so.
No, it's
nothing at all. I've listened to your lecture this weekend, and the way you connect with the people, I have never seen that before. Everybody is totally at one with you.
It was quiet, kind of. I sensed that after half an hour, that you couldn't hear anyone breathing in the room.
I know!
I was a little bit irritated about my ears at that moment.
It's wonderful. You have a wonderful gift. And humanity needs to know you more. I hope you will do more little sessions with me so that we can introduce you to the world. Because Harold, the world needs you. Humanity needs you. You have come for a reason.
Yeah, maybe.
You know you have.
If it's going to be like this, I will accept it, as I accept all the other things.
It's been a joy to meet you, and we will meet again in September. And let's hope we see big changes between now and then, for the better.
We will.
I'm sure we will. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure, I can assure you. Thank you.